Welcome to Faith and Fishn Live. The show will begin in 1 minute. Welcome to Faith and Fishn Live. The show will begin in 30 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's begin.
All right. Hey, what is up, everybody? I know it has been a long time. And yeah, I am just gonna come up here. I did not want to go 3 weeks in a row without making any kind of podcast or anything like that for y'all. So I just wanted to come up here, kind of let y'all know what's been going on, where I've been, all that good stuff. So I guess first things first, let me apologize for not having an episode the past couple weeks. So a few weeks ago, my son and my wife got sick with a upper respiratory infection, and I thought I had made it by. I thought I had made it out clear, and all of a sudden, boom! I got hit with it on Father's Day weekend. So the reason there has not been a podcast episode is because I was sick for about a week, and then I've been dealing with the cough ever since then. And then on top of that, there's been some scheduling issues with guests and stuff. By the way, I'm going to be coughing off and on through this episode because, man, I cannot get rid of this cough. But yeah, so I'm dealing with that same upper respiratory infection that they ended up with, and just nasty stuff. So I wanted to apologize for that. Next, I wanted to just kind of give you an update as to what's been going on. I wanted to let you know what's coming up, all of that good stuff. So yeah. The last episode that we had was with Pete Rogers from Christian Outdoors Podcast. If you have not listened to that podcast yet, either that episode or his podcast, the Christian Outdoors Podcast, I definitely recommend you go do that. But I did not want to take away from that podcast by talking about my tournament stuff. So I may jump on the lives every now and then and just kind of give you an idea of what's been going on in my fishing life. But yeah, so weekend before Father's Day, I guess it was. Again, I apologize for the coughing. So weekend before Father's Day, I had a tournament called the Raleigh Rumble. Now, y'all know I help out with the Central Carolina Kayak Fishing Tournament Trail as their chaplain this season, and that's been a whole lot of fun. I've gotten to fish with some people I never would have otherwise, and I've gotten to build some relationships and all of that good stuff. I'm really big on building relationships, and I'm really, really loving that. So, but we had a tournament called the Raleigh Rumble, and this is one that I was looking forward to since I found out it was happening. So we got to choose between 5 different lakes. So there was Crabtree up by the airport in Raleigh. There's Lake Wheeler down near Garner. There's Beaver Dam up by Falls Lake in the north side of Raleigh. And then there was Lake Raleigh and Lake Johnson, which are kind of closer to central Raleigh. They were, right there on North Carolina State University's campus. So we got to choose between those five lakes. Neither lake was big enough to really hold a big tournament. But we ended up having 42 anglers. Y'all already know I went up to Crabtree, loved that place. And there was only one other angler that also chose to go there. And I'm going to give a big shout out to Hank Bajan. Man, awesome guy. Just had a chance to really kind of just get to know him, fish with him a little bit. And that was awesome. I don't care how good I did in the tournament. Just having a chance to really get to know him and fish alongside him was really awesome. So you would think only two of us on the lake, we wouldn't see each other very much, but he walked up to me as we were kind of getting unloaded, and he was like, "You going where I think you're going?" I was like, "Yep." He said, "Me too." So we kind of went our separate ways at first, and we ended up meeting at this one spot right about the same time. So he was like, "Well, you want to take the right and I take the left, and when we switch on the way back." So we kind of did that, and a few things opened up for us, and we were able to get to some places that we wouldn't have otherwise. So that was really awesome. We got to do some fishing. And we did okay. So I had a few setbacks. So it was funny. So I ended up. Let me go ahead and start. I ended up 17th out of 42. So I ended up with 4 fish on the board. Very first fish I caught was a 12.5. And it flopped off the board before I got a chance to take a picture of it. So I got a good welcome to tournament fishing life there. So that was fun. That was kind of disappointing because it had been a lot longer than I expected before that first bite, and finally got it, and it didn't let me take a picture of it. But and then the next one I caught a little bit later was, I think it was like a 9-inch bass or something like that. We keep our keeper limit is 10 inches. And so that this one was not a keeper. It might've been 9. So that one didn't go. And then I caught a 13 or 13.25, something like that. I was like, well, at least there are fish here. At least I'm catching fish. And then, a little bit later, it was funny. I got my crankbait caught in a tree, and whenever I pulled it out, as soon as it hit the water behind me, got grabbed. That one was, I think it was a 14.5. Ended up getting one more that was let's see, one more that was like 11, and then one that was like 18 and a half. And that was a decent one, but had that 12.5 not jumped off the board, that would have bumped me up to, let's say, like 14th. And that stung a little bit, but so yeah, that would have been fine as the end of the story, except that, I lost my catch board. I caught one more that was probably about 11.5, and I reached around and my catch board wasn't there anymore. So that lesson learned. I definitely got my, gonna have it tethered from now on. The part that hurts the worst, though, I had just taken my Savior device off of the catch board and put it on my net because it was my first time in 3 years fishing without a floating net. So, if I had that Savior device on it, I would have found it, but I still had 2 hours left before lines out. So I kind of fished a little bit and then mosey my way back to the ramp and was like, I'm just gonna kind of take it as it comes. I'm gonna get a chance to change clothes, wipe off a little bit some of the sweat and not smell so bad at the weigh in. But that was a lot of fun. And I had been on a little bit of a streak of being able to get out fishing more. I've been able to get out at sunset a lot lately, and that was really awesome. And then boom, that upper respiratory infection just kind of like took the wind out of me, kind of literally. Even after I started feeling better, I just got so tired so quick, and I just like the idea of loading my kayak, much less going out and paddling and fishing, was just like I'm getting exhausted just thinking about it. So that kind of put a damper on that, and like I said, that's why the podcast hadn't had any episodes lately. But so this coming Tuesday, this may be the only episode for this particular week. But starting not this coming Tuesday, but next, we'll jump back on that weekly schedule. Of course, I jumped on this weekly schedule and did not have a backlog, and it kind of bit me. So you live and you learn, and I'll definitely make sure that I do a better job of getting some backlog here for y'all for whenever I do end up getting sick or not being able to record an episode or whatever. But yeah, so we've got a lot of really awesome guests coming up. We have a lot of really cool things that we're going to get to talk to some people about. We've got a guy who's a youth pastor. We've got a guy who is all kinds of fun things. Some of my fishing buddies. We've got one guy who's like, he might have been able to count the number of times he's been fishing on like two hands. And he was the best man at my wedding, and he's an awesome guy. He's got a YouTube channel called The Gospel Nerd, where he kind of talks apologetics and then Marvel and Star Wars kind of stuff mixed in there. So he's going to be on whenever he gets back from all of the camps that he's doing, to kind of talk about what it's like to have two best friends doing content creation at the same time. And so we've got a lot of fun things coming up. I've got some other episodes of other podcasts that I'm going to get to be on. So I'm excited about that. The Christian Outdoors podcast, I'm working to get on that one, get an interview scheduled, and hopefully we'll have that one up pretty soon. Intentional Guy podcast, I definitely recommend you check that one out. And Stopping to Think is another one that will be jumping on here pretty soon too. So definitely a lot of fun things coming up, and yeah, so that was really all I wanted to kind of jump on here and say was just I'm still here. I'm still, the podcast is not dying or dead or anything like that. Just couldn't make it through 5 minutes without coughing there for a while. And there at the beginning of this podcast, I couldn't either. I will say laughing still makes me cough pretty bad. So I'm trying not to say anything funny or anything like that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Be sure to check out the link that will be in the show notes. I will drop it here in the chat. But I call it the All Things Faith and Fishing link. It's got the website, it's got the blog, it's got Got, what else does it have? The merch store. So like the shirt that just make being a good person a priority. The logo shirts. I don't worry about my problems. I just fish. All that stuff. Make sure you go check it out. And all of that good stuff. Let's see. Mom says, glad you're feeling better. Thanks, Mama. I will be seeing you soon. Looking forward to that. Getting to spend 4th of July with my family. So excited about that. So that's going to do it for this episode, y'all. Y'all take care and God bless.
Thank you for listening to the Faith and Fishing podcast. Faith and Fishing is produced and hosted by me, Cam Steele, and is sponsored by Jade's Jigs, Get Outdoors Pedal and Paddle, Save Your Outdoors, Atollas, and Mr. B Lure Company. Be sure to give us a rating and a review and to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. That's going to do it for this episode. Y'all take care and God bless.